Hey, how's it going? I have some cards and I also want to talk as usual. So I wanted to just talk about, oh, are we whistling now? I wanted to talk about today, um, my own personal today, not the world's today. I'll get to that. But I woke up today and I don't know about you, but the way my day starts really matters. So I have a technique because I know that there are certain things that I'm going to be required to do. And things just, I need them to go in a certain order, or I need to accomplish certain things in order for the day to go smoothly. And so it did. It went smoothly, and I was appreciating that this morning. And then I turned on my phone and started looking at things. And what I have been noticing for a while now and acting upon is when I'm watching something and it's making my heart rate increase, then I know it's time to stop watching that. So I was watching a few things and it kept happening, and I had to keep turning things off. And this is not like an indictment on the shows at all that I was looking at. It is something that is happening with me. But the content that I'm looking at, I mean, I think anyone's blood pressure gets heightened, or they start to get irritated or angry with what they're looking at because of what it's telling them about the current reality. And it's not going over so well for a lot of people. And so I think it's a sympathetic reaction, but it's not one I want to have sympathy with. Like, I don't want to be getting all riled up, and it's not even my thing. Like, I'll save it for my own stuff. Thank you. But I didn't used to. I didn't used to even really realize it was happening. So anyway, I'd say a couple of months now into doing that, like noticing and then going, okay, stop. I was just thinking today, it was like, wow, it's really going after, I was going to say me, but I think people. I think it was going after people, just trying to get people riled up. And, you don't want to be shaken out of your good mood, because it just adds a bad energy to the collective energy. And there's enough of that happening because something real and terrible did happen, but terrible is subjective. It's not everywhere. You might not be in the place where it's happening, but you could feel empathy or a sympathetic reaction to what the people are feeling in the place in question. And I feel like if you are aware of it and can think of it, you will understand, like, why it is a good idea not to add, anything more challenging to the already challenging energy. I mean, that's my feeling on the matter. And so I was kind of like, wow, it's strong today. Everybody watch out. I'm speaking to myself, but literally talking to myself at the time, but speaking to myself and also just putting it out into the atmosphere, like, watch out, everybody. And so that was just an interesting, I mean, that doesn't sound like much, but it actually took up some time as I was processing all of that this morning. And again, it was the morning, so I don't know about you, but I don't wake up all snappity snap every morning. And so I got to move into the day slowly, because that's the way I do it now, that I don't work and I'm not in a state of anxiety most of the time and getting up when I don't want to be getting up. Anyway, enough about that. So I was in the lounge, and I had the door shut, and when I came out, there were 3 kittens in my house. They just come in, and they were like walking around, checking everything out, meowing, eating food. And I was like, oh, they were so cute. There was an orange one, a gray one, and a gray tabby one. And I wanted to pet them and pick them up and talk to them, but I couldn't. I mean, I let them eat the food and whatever, and I just kind of followed them around and waited until they went outside, and then I closed the screen door. And they kind of had wandered off, and then they came back, and the orange one was sitting in front of the screen, just looking at me like, hey, why'd you shut the door? And I was like, oh, kitty, you have no idea how bad I want to let you and your little family in here, but the cat that lives here would not be happy. I already had a cat before the guy that I have now that, oh my God, that poor guy, he took it so personally when I rescued the little guy that I have now. The one that I had was in his 20s, and it just, I don't know how much longer. He was like, I think 21 or 22, and I don't know how much longer he would have hung around if Puffer had not showed up, but I had actually wished for a kitten, but I knew I wasn't going to just get one, and then Puffer showed up, and I was like, oh, yay, and it wasn't for me, it was for the other cat to have a friend, but the other cat did not want a friend, and he basically tried to move out when Puffer came around, and I had to pay attention to the little guy, because he was very young. He was probably a month old, and I couldn't, just ignore him, but I wasn't ignoring the other cat. I was trying to sit with him together, and that happened a couple of times, and then the older guy, the original cat, was like, I am not doing this. I'm not sharing the lap, and so it was kind of heartbreaking at the end there. But this guy now, the then intruder, is the same way, so I can't introduce other cats into here. He doesn't even like them walking across the grass in front of our deck, and we don't own that. But he has decided it's his territory, and he's a real jerk about it, to be honest. Sorry, kitty, but you are. It's not your land. Anyway, so that was how the day was going. And while that was going on, I wasn't really doing my phone, looking at it, and I was just doing chores and things that require both hands and attention and whatever, so on and so forth. And so then I go and sit down. Well, I'm always sitting down, but went over and got on the phone again. It was like, oh no, we lost Dolly Parton. So that's it makes me sad, but it's not as much of a painful feeling, because I knew a lot of what she was doing for literacy in this country, because a lot of it's public, and then some of the stuff that wasn't public I somehow found out about, but then so much more came out, and it was like I couldn't feel so sad, because it was like, dang, you fulfilled every mission, survived the poverty, self-made woman, creative talent, got famous, shared the wealth, did stuff to make people happy just for that reason. I mean, thank you for your service. I don't feel personally close to her like a lot of people do, but I grieved the loss, but not so much. I feel like, well, it's not like she's just going to be gone. I think for the next 3 months, we're going to be hearing all of her music. So, I guess the point of that was that just even in a little few hours, things can happen so differently, just right in your own life, and you don't even have to go anywhere, you know. So, something else that was on my mind, maybe I'll just hold on to that for now. So I have some yesterday and today cards from the Declarations of Mary Magdalene deck. And the first card I have is number 9, and I actually took a picture of them so I could see better. I'm just sharing the number with you. I'm not going to try to interpret anything. Oh, shoot. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, it says, we generate our vibration when our heart center... Oh, sorry. We generate our vibration within our heart center to share with the world as one. We generate our vibration through our heart center to share with the world as one. So, we emit that. I think talking about alignment and connectiveness with the other vibrations around you, i.e. people, and actions, and opportunities, and just whatever comes up, because we're just always moving around the world, and we're all doing that. We're all emitting something or other. And this one is just talking about finding one that matches other ones. Eventually, hard to believe now, I think, because we always vocally talk to each other, but that's not going to always be the case. Like, we can already, I think, notice an ability to sense, to feel what's going on with somebody else more and more. It's just an observation, but I really think that that is something that is just getting stronger in everyone. I don't think it can be avoided, possibly because we're emitting so strongly at each other. Like, that is possibly something that we're all improving at being able to do as well. Okay, so the next card is the number 49, and it says, oh shoot, here we go. It says, seek freedom that is not bound to churches that rule the minds of the people and their pocketbooks. Seek freedom that is not bound to churches that rule the world, the minds of the people and their pocketbooks. So, I mean, I don't really think I have to expand on that much, except to go beyond the churches into a different metaphor where, well, for one thing, a lot of the churches that we see these days, I'm not sure which of them isn't just another organization trying to sell you stuff, or will definitely sell you stuff, but mainly separate you and your money, you know, for not good reasons, for suspicious reasons, for dubious reasons, and that if you're suspicious, you'd be correct to be suspicious, because these people are using the religion and the church attached to it necessarily as a vehicle to just milk people And I suspect, because you hear about it, there's a energy vampire situation happening there too, where there's a lot of infidelity and just inappropriate sexual behavior between the congregants and the priest, pastor, what have you. It's not, I mean, it's not a pious, holy place. I mean, unless you're worshiping dark things, like, you know, acting falsely and wearing disguises, wolves in sheep's clothing in the church, I guess. Evil. Evil people. Dude, that's evil stuff. It doesn't have to be like, you know, Exorcist, Linda Blair's type stuff to represent, you know, what evil looks like. Like, I don't think it has to be that dramatic. Okay, so, the next card is number 23, and oh, my eyes are just swimming. It says, "Thou shalt not know thy divine self when thou let thyself be detained in false perception of materialism." And that's exactly what I was just talking about, like those, like, I guess they're evangelical pastors, but I think they're like prosperity gospel. I think that's what it's called. Whatever, religions, churches, doctrines, religious or prosperity gospel doctrines. And it's like, wait, you going to church about making a profit, about making money? It was bad enough when you go in and they're all passing the collection plate. I don't know if they do it in all of the churches, but they sure did it in Catholic Church. And that was ostensibly to support the parish, the church, and the clerics and the nuns or whatever that worked there to maintain the property and themselves as well, and to minister to the community. So that's what that was supposed to go to. But what I was just talking about, the prosperity gospel people, they are like scolding their congregations because even though they're like, I'm giving you everything I have, and they're like, I asked you for $3,000. Like, I don't know if this actually happened, but I just had like a vision of them just knocking the offering of what the person did have, what they strained to give regardless, because they wanted to give something. Like, they felt so compelled, probably because these people are constantly haranguing them, and the manipulation is amazing, all to get money so they can have jets and watches and suits and everything, like pay for nothing themselves. And that's, hi, does that mean church to you? Do you see the totality? I'm just wondering if the people that attend those see the totality of what's happening there. Like, I don't know. They're all into something that I can't get into it. I don't get it. But I also can't see myself relinquishing that much of. You end up giving away a lot of yourself to these religions. It's crazy. It's terrible. Like, they take things that could be good, and already, like, what you get from the religions is a distortion of the material, the source material that they have. What is appropriated? They appropriated the material and made the Bible, and it's a good look that there are things in there that are not crazy cockadoodie nutball. And then those are the things that I really like the things that are like, that's unbelievable, that's fairy tale, that's crazy, like, What if it's true? That's my attitude. I think, yeah, but also the Christ stuff, not necessarily Jesus Christ, but what he was teaching, the Christ stuff. I'm really interested in that. So, in the Bible, you got to know how to decode that puppy to see that stuff for what it is, or remember, or something. But, yeah. What am I talking about? Oh, the materialism. So, yeah, like that prosperity gospel, that's what the materialism is the chasing after that money. And I'm so glad the hustler, gig economy, that hustle business, people are finally like getting burned out, and like it's not cool, and no one wants to do it because you were doing it before to like supplement your income, and you maybe if you were like a prosperity person, hustling, having a couple of jobs and still finding hustles, and it's like people can't do it anymore. The stress of just trying to keep up, where like maybe when that started out you were doing that to get ahead and you were able to actually do that, forget about it. Now it seems like I hear people talking and everything they do, they're still in the negative, making more money than they ever made, broke as hell. I keep hearing nurses and engineers talking about being broke, and that blows my mind because those people get paid good money. They're not like handing out burgers, and they spend so much money and time on all that schooling, and it must be so heartbreaking. Oh my God. So of course I was thinking of having gone to all of that school and spent all that money, only to find that you not only can't find a job doing what you spent so much time and money learning to do, no one's doing the jobs. Apparently they're just going to give it all to AI machines. And it's like, wow, we got like chatbots on like your support when you're trying to figure out your cable bill. And the AI people are like, they're going to give them all the jobs. What, from the data center? Where are the actual physical AI units? The robots? The homicidal robots? The one that looks like the Borg Queen that was already like first year of life, first year of sentience, gonna kill the humans, gonna do terrible things to them. Oh my goodness. That's gonna work out great. Well, that should be exciting. But anyway, yeah, those people, you know why they want the AIs and the robots to do the work? Because, again, the prosperity, they don't want to pay people, and also they don't want to have to, like, think about being kind or compassionate to people, because in life, shit happens. You get sick, your kid gets sick, your parents get sick, tornado gets sick all over your house and destroys it. I mean, acts of God you can't really do anything about, but they think with the robots, it's all going to work great. Again, where are the physical units? Those little delivery bots? I'm confused. And I'm kind of in disbelief about all of that. Like, I feel like it's so close, but they don't have all of the parts necessary to achieve the goal. It's not the stated goal per se, but I mean, there does seem to be a definite like removal of physical working bodies. That's gonna be interesting. So yeah, with all of kind of things like that, and that's not everything. You know what is blowing my mind is like there's all of this sort of like American stuff happening where like Asian people are mad at black people and black people are mad at all the white people and also everybody else too. because nobody has stuck up for us, which, I mean, that's true. People really haven't stuck up for us that much, and I don't want to get all into that. That's like too deep a thing to start talking about in something else, but you know, there's a lot of like social stuff going on, like kind of a lot of realizations about things and revelation type things that are in the religion. You can find stuff about that in like even the Bible, in fact. So, and then like on one hand, it's happening, I guess, unless everything I'm seeing about it is a bunch of AI. And then there's a whole rest of this world and society that are not mentioning it at all and or talking about it. And I don't know, it's just kind of interesting that in a way that, and like the prices killing people and the rents and the, you know, gas costs and grocery costs and, you know, schools like next week, I think. And if you got even one kid, that's going to be costing you. And so, while that's going on, there are still like World Cup people over in Europe that were here that are raring to come back, and they saw none of that. That didn't, I mean, they may see it online, maybe. I don't know. I mean, what comes into my algo is caused by stuff that I look at, so they didn't seem to notice anything really about any of that stuff. Like none of the George Floyd stuff just flew right over those heads. So thrilled with the food and like, okay, I mean, God, it must be really expensive in Europe if they come here and they're just all, oh, Subways or hoagie, $15, $18, and they're just all, whoa, whatever, just buying it. I'm like, wow, how are you people affording all of that? Again, it must be super more expensive in Europe. But back to them visiting and wanting to come back. I mean, great. We need the infusion of positivity for sure, of people not not burned out with this place. But I don't know. Like, I don't know that they're going to enter society and even experience a lot of the rest of it, because they were like visiting ranches and again buying an $18 sandwich was like no big deal. I saw a bunch of programming on that, like a bunch of different posts, shows, different channels. For like months I've been watching it, and one time have I heard a person visiting mention the price, and they were like, that's expensive. And they weren't like, they weren't like us, they weren't dying about it. So again, they seem secure in that way. Also good. I mean, that's probably going to be a healthy infusion into the economy, is to not have people with not economical stress. The bottom line is the key takeaway from this that you should get is, yeah, it's about to get gnarly. It is gnarly now, but you know, keep a sense of humor. God, you have to laugh. I mean, things are so just ridiculous. And you can only take so much pain and like break down so many times. Like you just gotta like file it and go, yep, okay, there's another one. Like, I don't know, I can't do it. I can't like fall apart every 5 seconds anymore, you know? But it doesn't mean that I'm not feeling things, you know? Just like I said, gotta stash it away for later at a time when I can process it. Because, for one thing, there's just too many things coming at everybody right now. And, I mean, the best I can do is, like, mark it and move on. You don't have time. You know, like, real life of your own is very much present and wanting your attention. So, I don't know. there's breathing you can do to calm yourself down when you just feel like literally enclosed into a tight space. The only way you can expand that is to expand your lungs, bring in more oxygen. Do not pant. I find myself panting, like when I'm watching the shows and my heart rate's going up. I'm like, like, what are you doing? You're not running. That's the thing. Like, it's a news item. It's not happening to me directly. It's not the incident is not happening to me. I don't have to feel the pain that bad. Like, there's such a thing as being oversympathetic. Boundaries, you got to learn how to get them up there. But I mean, I feel like that's life from now on. Things just constantly coming at you. And you got to learn how to dance with that, You got to... I mean, that's how I feel. I don't know what you are going to do with all of that, but I'm just sharing what kind of works for me. So the breathing, I was very scornful of the breathing. It's just like when I don't know if you heard this when you were a kid, but when I was a kid, if I would lose my temper or somebody else would lose their temper, even to other adults, the thing would be count to 10. And what that does is it gives you something else to just switch your mind to. And by the time you get to 10, if you stay focused on the counting, you will have calmed down. So the breathing also works in the same way. Like, it really is a distraction technique. But what the breathing also does is you flood yourself with oxygen, which is just always better for your mental state. Like, it doesn't even matter what you're doing. The more oxygen, the better, 24/7. And so that's why the panting is not good, because you're already, like, in the way that I was describing it, you're already in like a heightened state. You're getting anxious. And here's the reason I forgot to say this. Here's the reason you want to pull yourself out of it and stop. Or if I'm saying you because I am talking to you, but normally when I say you, I mean me. So I mean everybody. Once you start going down that path of getting drawn into like anger that isn't yours or anxiety that isn't yours, or just, getting that, look, your shoulders naturally come up. That is a sign of stress. That is a sign of anxiety. And if you're just watching something and it's not like your stuff, you don't have to do all that. Like, your own life gives you enough. And so if you do not remove yourself from it or put the brakes on somehow or remind yourself, like, this is not mine, I'm just watching this, or turn it off, even better. Best way to extract yourself. If you're going to continue watch it, then continue to watch it then. I feel like, just speed up. What actually makes the most sense to describe it is you're a snowball and you're going downhill, and if you don't stop before you cannot stop yourself, all you're going to do is speed up and gather more momentum, which that's a metaphor. And so you're gathering more anger. You're just taking it on. You're taking on more of this thing that's not even yours, but your body doesn't know that. And so your body is going to react as if it were your own stress. And the point is, stress is not good for you. And we're going to have so much of it. We do have so much of it. And as of yet, no one knows how to fix anything. So we got more to come. And we need copium. It's not just copium. We need coping mechanisms to get through these times, with our sanity mostly intact. Would you not agree? So I'm just sharing some things that I've learned that actually work pretty well for me, but it's as easy as like any other thing else, anything to distract you, because that's what you need, is to pull yourself out of that momentum, like start falling up instead of down like the snowball wants you to do. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you and good night.